it feel to have the film out there?
It feels awesome. I've been waiting a long time for it to come out, and it's really been all of our babies. It's been something we're very proud of, and it's so cool to see it materialize in such an awesome format. I'm just super proud, and to have it premiere in my hometown is just the icing on the cake. So super special. Yeah, but I'm still live here actually.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, congratulations.
Thank you.
So tell me a bit about your role in the film.
Well, it's really Ivan. Obviously, it's just kind of how we all feel deep inside growing up. I know I certainly could vibe with that character when I was 17, 18. I mean, life is hard, and being a confused teenager is really hard. And he really kind of really fulfills that sort of trope of just being a angsty teenager. And I don't know. He likes skateboarding. He likes to hang out. We can all sort of relate to Ivan, but at the same time, where he stands out is he's extremely detached. He's extremely empty, and he's hardly even influenced by his surroundings, which is really uncommon because usually people are built up by their surroundings. And that's what forms a character, but he formed his character by being detached. So I thought that was really interesting, and I think we all have known or met someone like that before, and it's very real. But it's cool. They gave him a redemption moment at the end, which was nice.
So you could kind of relate to his character a bit?
Oh, totally. A lot of that stuff, like they said on stage, was improv, and we just sat down and we're given a basic idea, and they let us mess around with it to make it more genuine. And yeah, the more I worked on it and the more I started to think like Ivan, it just sort of happened, his character does make a lot of sense.
Yeah, that's awesome. Thank you so much.
Cool. Awesome. Great talking to you.
You too. So tell me about sort of adapting this film based off of James' book. Did you work closely with him at all?
Yeah, a little bit, but I think a part of the process was also to sort of for us to bring our own sort of ideas to the script and our own sort of fiction and desires as filmmakers. And so, in some ways, we had the material of the book. Whenever we had questions about characters, we would call James or whatever. But it was mainly Nina and I just sort of, I don't know, fictionalizing certain things or reshaping scenes, and also a lot of the movie is improv, so a lot of, so much of it, there are entire scenes that are improv, so I think it was very much, for us it was very much to sort of set up the framework of the film, and then with location, with the characters, with everyone, and then it was really just sort of we had sort of a entry point into a scene and an exit point, and then it was sort of going to the end of it, but really just sort of improvising, sort of praising the accidents, and yeah.
So what was your favorite scene to write?
I don't remember. To write. Because okay, my favorite scene to write is not in the movie. It got cut off. It was a scene where one of the kids is so desperate to have sex or whatever that he starts jerking off in the classroom, and that was really fun. And I had seen a kid doing that in my high school in Paris, and I wanted that to be in the movie, so I wrote it with Nina, but then it was just too bleak, and so we took it out. But that was my favorite scene to write.
Sounds fun. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Okay, so I played Tasha, who was Kelly's best friend, young Tasha, of course. And, she was kind of the bad influence on Kelly, definitely pushing her just to hang out with these boys, and she had a lot of alternative motives. I think it was really important to have that antagonist to push this sweet, innocent girl to really try new things.
So could you relate to your character at all?
Yeah, of course we don't share all the similar traits, but just the struggle of adolescence and going through being exposed to all these, cuss words were new. And I was in middle school, and it was definitely, I got to relate to her and how she dealt with that, and just transitioning into being a teenager.
So what scene of yours are you most looking forward to the audience seeing?
Just the pool scene. That was so fun, and it was really a really fun time to do, if anything. We weren't acting, we were having such a great time just in that pool. And it was kind of like an ode to kids, if you've ever seen that movie. So I think it's going to be really fun for the audience to be able to, see that part of our characters.
So I heard that there was a lot of improv going on. How was that as an actor? Did you enjoy that, or do you prefer more of the scripted moments?
It was definitely a new thing for me. We had the first call, which was, if not all, mostly improv. And then the second call, we got to interact, and we had to mix and match, and we got to interact with these kids and see how we worked off each other and played off each other. And I mean, everyone's so talented. So I learned a lot from them, just how to handle myself in that situation. And you know, they gave me tips, so it was really great being able to have that experience to try something new. And I've grown because of that, and now I use improv a lot just with projects I'm working on now. So
That's awesome. Well, congratulations on the film. It's great to talk to you. Nice to meet you. So congrats, it's the world premiere. How does it feel to have your film out there?
Super exciting and relief.
So I want to get your take on this. He already told me what his favorite scene to write was, but he said it did not end up in the film. So I'm curious, do you know which one he's talking about? So which one was your favorite to write?
As a teenager, you know nothing.
I don't know. There's so many. I think maybe the party scene, because that involved a lot of people that we know. Set like where we shot the film was like friends of ours, like the whole crew, like the whole cast and crew was there that day. So I think that was the most fun to write because we knew that was going to happen.
So what most drew you to this project?
Telling stories about teenagers. That's I'm really interested in telling stories about adolescence. I still relate to teens. I mean, I'm only 24. Me too. Yeah. So for me, it was, it was interesting to try and write a story based off of James's books, but that also like drew inspiration from my own life. A lot of the characters that we wrote into the story are based on kids I knew in high school that I hung out with. So that's what was exciting about it. Yeah.
So if those kids you knew from high school watch the movie, do you think they'll know kind of who is based on who?
I don't think so. Thomas Mann's character is based on a best friend of mine that I had in high school, and he knows that that's about him. Though he was much darker than Thomas Mann's character. He was intense. But other than that, it's pretty secretive.
So what do you most want audiences to get out of the film?
I guess just to be able to see something of themselves in it. That would be a job well done for me.
Well, awesome. It was so great talking to you.
Oh, thank you. Nice meeting you.
Yeah, you too. So I've got to ask, what happened?
To my foot, I was in a car accident and I fractured my talus.
Well, I'm glad it wasn't worse. So tell me a bit about your character.
I play Kelly at age 13, and she is the love interest of Ivan and Alex. And she is the popular girl, but kind of with a twist because she does, I don't know, she lets the clique kind of go to her head, I feel like. And but I think all in all, she does have a good heart.
So what is your favorite scene from the movie?
That I was in, or total? Honestly, it's so weird, but right before the pool, when we're all walking like down the dark alley, that one's my favorite. I think it's like really pretty and cinematic, and it was a lot of fun to shoot, so I like that one. Yeah.
So,
of a movie is put together is very different than.
What is your favorite moment from the set?
I don't know if this counts, but after one of the days of shooting, the entire like young cast went to IHOP at 3 o'clock in the morning and like talked about our characters, and like it was just a great, I don't know, it's just a great experience that like you remember. When I think back on this movie, I'll be like, oh, I remember Memoria, and I remember hanging out with the cast and like my directors and talking about how wonderful they are, and like, so I'll remember that. Yeah.
That totally counts. Well, congrats on the film. It's great to talk to you.